Good morning, UPBOptionMillionaires.com. It's Thursday, June 7, 2018. It's about 15 minutes before the opening bell. Futures are up a little bit here. S&P 500 futures up 0.1%, digesting the gains from yesterday's session and the session before that. Still looking for new all-time record highs on S&P 500. It hasn't happened yet, but NASDAQ, small caps continue to rally, record high prints. This is all in the face of last week's collapse on Tuesday after Memorial Day. Italy brought the markets down. Remember, Brexit was a two-day event. Italy was a one-day event. And here we are. Record highs, sooner than probably everybody expected. And if you look, the VIX is also falling down, hit 11 yesterday. S&P 500 ETF, the spiders breaking out of a bull flag pattern. Look, we consolidated this wedge. I'll show you on the chart here. That's S&P 500 futures. The SPY ETF, the spiders, they had that wedge pattern that we broke out of. Consolidated this sideways action, a bull flag, and broke out of. And look, we had the Italy collapse, and then look, we came back to support the day after we broke, which would be on Tuesday, and then look at us breaking out here on Wednesday over 277. Of course, we have a lot to go, $9 away, removed from the record highs that we saw earlier in the year, back at the start of, in January at the start of the year. And of course, we know what happened after that, the end of January into February, a massive collapse and a spike in volatility. The NASDAQ QQQ painting a new all-time record high. Look at this head and shoulders pattern. Not today, tomorrow, or the next day. And another bearish pattern bites the dust. And you can see, once we broke above that 170 level, just like with BABA and the 200 level that we saw it bumping against, rejecting. Once we broke above it for good, it haven't really looked back. Pretty impressive move. QQQ, new all-time record highs. Same with small caps, came back to test the support. This was a couple weeks ago, came back to test it. The Italy move actually brought us under it, but we recovered and rested right above support. And now just a pretty parabolic move, getting close to that 170 level. Pretty hard to believe for the small caps. A couple charts to look at. The market's going to open in a couple minutes. So a couple charts to look at. McDonald's, possible wedge pattern. Look from a long-term chart perspective, it looks a little more buoyant here. You see we have the false breakout and the false breakdown, but we're price range is tightening up here, so I think we're going to hit up to the new all-time record highs for McDonald's, or a stock that hasn't rocketed to record highs, like a Boeing, which yesterday moved to new all-time record highs, looks ready for 400. If you want to trade a government contractor, Northrop Grumman, possible move to 350, still not at record highs. So if you missed the Boeing move, knocking on record highs for NOK into the summer. And financials I talked about as well. JP Morgan Chase hit support on the Italy news last week. The banks were pulling back. Look at that first nice candle here. Analysts out this morning talking about the banks outperforming the rest of the year. And you can see these wicks here, these rejections at the 115 level. I think that's what we're going to end up here in the short term for JP Morgan Chase. Consolidation is going to be a nice bull flag breakout, and it's also going to bring the XLF, the financial ETF, back over 30. Look at that. We got a nice little candle here after pulling back. XLF, after hitting new record highs to start the year, has been pulling back every single month until now. Now, we're early into June. Of course, things could reverse. But look, each of these wicks, you see the wicks rejecting. And, of course, each time I pull over at the wick, you can't see it. But look to the right. Wick, wick. All of these are rejections of downside and rejections of upside. Look, we rejected a little downside here. Looks like we're going to move back up to the 29 level for XLF in June. One more chart to look at in some leaps here. July for GameStop, which is starting to move off the lows. Retail, the retail apocalypse has been averted for now. And you can see each time GME has come down to this multi 8+ year, actually longer than that, it's 10+ year. The bottom of this zone, it's recovered the last time back in the middle of 2012, and really a tremendous run up to 45. Not saying that's happening, but really massive short interest. The company is starting to turn around a little bit, and so is the share price. So keep an eye on this one. All right, UPBOptionMillionaires.com. We'll see you in the chat room. Everybody have a great day. The bell's going to ring in a couple minutes. Goodbye.